love and magic have a great deal in common. They enrich the soul, delight the heart, and they both take practice. Certainly the plagiarism, and dealing with the fallout of it, was the most difficult thing I've ever faced since I started writing. I find I use the internet more and more. It's just an invaluable tool. I do most of my research on the net now, and certainly do the bulk of my communicating through email. Every writer has to figure out what works best, and often has to select and discard different tools before they find the one that fits. For over a year I continued to submit MSS, and have them rejected. The last few with rejection letters indicated the story was pretty good, but I was American. I'd always loved to read, and come from a family of readers, but I never thought about writing as a career. I decided to write category romance as I'd recently discovered them, and enjoyed them. In the summer of '80, Silhouette bought my first book. I long for typical days, but rarely get them anymore. Action, reaction, motivation, emotion, all have to come from the characters. Writing a love scene requires the same elements from the writer as any other. I've gotten to know a number of readers from being online, and really treasure the time I've spent with them. I don't think you can write, at least not well, if you don't love stories, love the written word. One of my greatest pleasures is falling into a story someone else has written. I read a lot, and I read a variety of genres. Mary Stuart will always be my goddess. I can't pick up one of her early books, one I've read a dozen times, and still slide right into the story. If you write in category, you write knowing there's a framework. There are reader expectations. I don't believe for one moment you can write well what you wouldn't read for pleasure. You don't find time to write. You make time. It's my job. I believe strongly in writing groups such as Romance Writers of America that offer support, information and networking. I do indeed write on the road. My laptop goes with me everywhere. Every single book is a challenge, and each book has to receive your best effort every single time. No slacking. I need to write to be happy. Aren't most romance heroes, or heroes in fiction of any kind, generally superior to real men? Same goes for heroines and real women. My own sense of family, where I came from and what I made for myself, is an important part of my life. I generally write a first draft that's pretty lean. Just get the story down. I don't fiddle or edit or change while I'm going through that first draft. I would hope that my writing's cleaner than it was when I started. I don't base any character on a real person, and really don't do composites either. I make them up. Actually, I find it great fun to develop family series with lots of characters. The most important aspect of any story, to me, is character. He wanted to be a poet, someone else put in while Maggie hugged him and patted his back. Said he'd only lack the words to be one. We're tossed by the winds of fate. Once we end where they blow us, we make of ourselves that we will. I've been happy alone and I've been unhappy without you. I never wanted to depend on anyone, or to let myself care so much I could be made unhappy. But I depend on you and I love you. If I can make you unhappy, then I can make you happy as well. The marriage is a delicate thing, Maggie, a balance of two hearts and two hopes. Sometimes the weight's just too heavy on the one side, and the other can't lift to it. When you love with all you are, it isn't unhappiness alone you risk, it's heaven, too. Dependence, she knew, and the longing for more than what you had, led to unhappiness and discontent. If you don't go after what you want, you'll never have it. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. If you don't step forward, you're always in the same place. Damn me to hell or take me to heaven, but for God's sake, do it now. I do not feel obliged in my reading. I read to be entertained and to relax, and to go into another world, not because it's good for me. When we grow up, we lose the talent for loving without restrictions. It's hard to resist a bad boy who's a good man. I fear feeling my heart break a second time, because I'm not sure I could survive it. I'd rather live alone than risk the pain. The tune was sad, as the best of Ireland was, melancholy and lovely as a lover's tears.